Hey folks, welcome back. We took a super quick break there from the last stream. We were out fighting the grotesque gargoyles as part of the Slayer assignment that I'm currently on. I think next it's going to be for pure fun here. It's been at least a week since we've gone back to the Zulrah area to fight Zulrah and get some kill count there. Let me just open up my chat window real quick. I think we can figure out what our kill count is here. 626 it looks like. So what we're gonna do now that I'm pretty much geared up, I'm just gonna scarf down an anglerfish here, gonna refill my inventory, and then we'll take the fairy ring from my player house to get to Zulrah. So that's going to be the general plan of attack for the next hour or so. We're just going to see how many kill count we can get. And of course, we're always chasing those pets, so hopefully we get lucky there this time around. Excuse me there. So I'm going to configure this to go to the BJS fairy ring location. Zolandra to be specific. Rainbow's out there building the hype. Love those emojis, Rainbow. Thank you for being here, as always. And let me go turn the music on real quick so we can get a beat going here. We'll try to find our rhythm, and then we'll start doing the two-person dance with Zulrah here. Maybe three-person if we pull Scruffy out, you know. So cliffhanger right there. But you guys probably know this if you've done this on your own, but there is actually a Zulrah teleport scroll, which is dropped fairly often from Zulrah. So you'll probably see that as part of the drops here today. I actually prefer, though, I like to sell those on the Grand Exchange because I think each one is worth about 10k or somewhere in that ballpark. So instead of wasting all that money, I prefer to sell those. And then when I'm coming back to Zulrah, I just use the fairy ring, which takes a couple extra seconds, but it's not really crazy, you know. I'm going to set up my quick prayers here. Specifically, I want to just have Rigor on. So we'll save that. Rigor is going to be the prayer that helps boost our range attack strength. So hopefully we get some more DPS or damage per second here. And the more DPS we see, the more kills we get. So let's rock, guys. There is a plugin that I'm using for Zulrah, so apologies if the screen is missing a little bit on the right hand side for you guys. It's probably because the plugin is open, so I can see it, but I don't think you can. But either way, that's the cheat sheet that I'll be using while we're at Zulrah here, trying to get some kills. So we've got our Bofa, we've got our Crystal Armor, plus a Missouri Helm, so let's see how we make out, guys. And I'm going to pull out Scruffy here. Three-way salsa, baby. This is actually Scruffy's brother. I brought out the range scrawl. We haven't named this one yet, but we certainly can today. Unless we just want to refer to them collectively as Scruffy. That's okay. But, oh no, I actually, I forgot that we need some anti-venom for Zulrah. It's been so long since I've come back, I didn't even think of that. Normally if you're wearing a, oh, what's the green helm? The Serpentine helm. Typically you wouldn't need anti-venom, but we don't have that today. So you're going to see I'm going to eat a lot of damage here while we're fighting Zulrah. And then once we go back to refill our inventory, I'll grab an anti-venom. Because this is kind of a sloppy start for the stream, so we don't want to be doing this type of stuff for an hour, you know? Alright, here comes the melee form. Now we'll be back in action. We'll just pretend those first few attacks didn't happen, you know? Alright. Now we've got the range form of Zulrah coming out. I could tell something was missing. You can see I brought a range pot with me. I brought plenty of prayer potions, but like, my gut told me I was missing something. I just couldn't put my finger on what it was. And we learned within the first attack here what that was, and that's that I didn't have an anti-venom, so shame on me, we should know better, right? Definitely a sweatier kill than we prefer right out of the gate here, but it's okay, we're gonna keep doing our thing. Man, that venom is doing some damage though. We are getting wiped out because of that. Let's see. I think I might finish this kill off and then we'll just go back to the house and heal. Because you can see we're eating a fish every like 10 seconds here, so not really ideal. We did get about 25k for our troubles though, so we'll gladly pick that up. Now we'll go back to my player-owned house though. You can see I just took a 20 hit from that venom, so that stuff will wipe you out quick if you don't address the issue there. So boom, we're back already. Sometimes it's good though to pop back into your house and make sure that your butler's doing what they're supposed to be doing. We don't really want him throwing parties and stuff while we're out doing our boss fights, you know, so gotta keep a close eye on that one. Definitely sus. Watch, we're gonna come back right now. He's probably gonna have all of his friends over in our house. Let's go check it out. Where is he? He's not even around. Like, seriously? There he is. Yeah, he's over there pretending he's cleaning the dining room. We know you were napping under the table. Slacker. Let's go kill Zulrah. Good for nothing. Alright. Alright, and we're off. So you can see there, we just teleported to our player house. We healed ourselves up, we cured ourselves of the venom effect. We went to the Grand Exchange, we got a bunch more fish. And all of that took about like 3 minutes to do. Probably not even that long. So that's why I say I don't really waste my time with the Zulrah teleport scrolls or anything. For me, it doesn't feel like that big of a deal if we just like manually walk here or use the fairy rings or whatever. So I'd rather just sell the scrolls and make some extra money, you know. So right after this spawn point, Zulrah is going to turn into the ranged version and is going to be over on the right side of my screen. So we're going to have to run to the other side here as soon as that poison cloud clears. We'll start heading over to this side. Man, we're taking some hits from Zulrah today. She's alternating her attacks in like an unpredictable way, which is one of the just standard mechanics of Zulrah, even though usually in this, I guess, turquoise type version, she'll attack with mage, and then in the light green form, she'll attack with range. She does have the ability to just randomly throw other attack types in there, and that's what she's been doing so far, so she's kind of been blindsiding us by other attacks, and it's taken quite a toll on our health. Let's pull out the scrawl here. Let's wipe this one out. We need to build some momentum. Okay, so now she's gonna spawn over on the right side again. So let's run over here. And when she does spawn, it's going to be in her mage form. So we'll switch to that. Now she should be close to dead by the time this form is over, but if she stays alive, she's going to show up as range on the other side. Disregard, she's dead. And you can see right there, we've already got 160k from this one kill between all the skulls that she dropped, and she did drop some of those teleport scrolls that I was telling you about a minute ago. So about 50k worth of scrolls right there. So that's a pretty good profit for about like 2 minutes of our time. So now we're going to teleport out, we're going to take the boat back to the shrine, and we're going to go through all that again. Here we go. And I will minimize my chat window there. Just want to give you guys as much to look at as possible, so try to get into a good viewpoint here. After this green form, she's going to pop in the middle as a melee form. So that's easy enough to deal with. We'll just walk right over here, and the pillar is going to hide us from his or her tail attack. And then after that, she's going to pop up on the right-hand side in mage form. So that's the beauty of the plugin, is it's kind of spoon-feeding me all this information here. So instead of me having to remember all these different combinations of spawn points and stuff like that, I can just resort to the plugin and go through all this a bit more calmly, you know? Oh, you can see she smacked me with a range attack right at the end there, almost killed me with the thing, so I'll heal up a little bit now. Now we're going over here. Yeah, every time she does that, it smacks you pretty good when she just randomly throws in like an alternate attack type. There's nothing we can really do about it, because by the time she shoots it, it's already too late. So all we can do is eat the damage and hope we got enough food to restabilize ourselves. And there's another kill. Easy enough, right? We got 75k worth of battle staffs there, 20k worth of Zulrah scales, so again, you can't beat the money, especially after the week we've had where we were just having the floor wiped with us for a few of the kills when we were learning the Nightmare and doing a few other things. This is definitely a much needed boost for our bank account today. Alright, we'll keep it rocking. We'll bring out our Scrawl. We'll put on our Rigor for range damage. Alright, now here she is in ranged form, so we'll keep doing our thing. What I will look at right after this fight, once we go back to heal ourselves up and all that, I'll take a look at my combat achievements. I think there's some probably speedrunner achievements that we've yet to complete. I don't know that we will complete them today, but we can at least see what's on the table there. And then if there's anything else we can consider trying, we'll see if we can line that up for ourselves. Sometimes they'll have achievements there where you need to like roll through these with like budget gear or other types of setups. So just like really unique things that we wouldn't have thought to do here unless the achievement description told us to. So that's really why I want to take a look at it. We'll see if there's anything interesting we can throw into the mix here. One thing to be mindful of is every time Zulrah spawns here, even though it looks like she's ready to fight, it actually takes like an extra second for the game to lock her into position. and to make her eligible to be attacked. If you click too early, your character's just going to stand there and you won't actually start attacking her. You want to make sure that the attack option actually pops here before you click on her, because that's really the signal that you're good to go ahead and start doing damage. Because if you do it too early, your character might just stand there like a deer in headlights. Even though you thought you were attacking her, it won't actually start doing that, you know. Alright, she's just about done here. Boom. It's a lot of blue there. Look at that. That one kill is worth, what, 160k? We're not going to know what to do with all of our coins here. Let's teleport out. So we're going to heal up here at our rejuvenation pool. I'm going to take the quick walk back to the Grand Exchange. We'll probably just roll with half a vial of range potions. We're getting probably like 4 or 5 kills per trip here once I get into my groove, so that range potion is fine. I do want to get a full anti-venom though, because pretty much every kill she's smacking us with that. And then also, of course, we're going to bring a full inventory of anglerfish. So then we'll go back to the house. Check on our butler. Kick all of his friends out again. Tell the cops everything is okay. And now we'll go back to Zulrah. And like I said, before I walk in here, I just want to take a look at the combat achievements. We'll see if there's anything cool we can be targeting today. At least from a collections perspective, looks like we're missing a few things from Zulrah. We've never gotten an uncut onyx, neither from here nor from Zalcano. There's a few monsters that drop these onyxes, and we've yet to see one. We also need the jar of the swamp here. So I think that's the thing that you can use to get like a version of Zulrah in your player-owned house. We need the magma mutagen, the tanzanite mutagen, and then the pet snakeling. So again, the pet is the big one that we want, but there's also 4 other things we've yet to see here, so hopefully we get some sort of a pop today. And then also, if we go into our combat achievements, yep, looks like we need to kill Zulrah by using the Vengeance spell as the finishing blow. I've never used the Vengeance spell in this game, so I'm going to have to figure out what that is exactly. But then there's also a speedrunner task where we need to kill Zulrah within 1 minute and 20 seconds. So let's see if we can try to knock out any of those. Either of those, I should say. We'll give it a shot, right? I think maybe when we go back the next time, I'll take a look at that Vengeance spell to see if I have the right spellbook pulled up. If we can complete that one during the stream, that would be kind of cool. And maybe if anybody in the chat has any idea what the Vengeance spell is, you can help me out with that. I have 99 magic, so I've got high confidence that I'll be able to at least trigger the spell. I just don't really know what it's used for exactly. So I'll have to look into that real quick. Let's run to the other side here. She's going to pop in range form. There we go. I don't know what our quickest kill time is, so I do want to look at that as well. It should pop up here as soon as we kill Zulrah this time. We should be able to see it. But at least for now, let's just try to do as much damage as we can, as quickly as we can, to see if we can complete that speedrunner task. even though my health is fairly low here, I didn't want to heal just yet, because I do want to see if we can kill her within the achievement time. Man, we need to get luckier than that on with some of our DPS, you know, or else there's no chance. We were hitting straight zeros for a minute there. At first it was looking good, but then we started to fall off a little, and now the kill feels like it's taken forever. Boom. Alright, so that kill, that took about 1:50 seconds, so that's about 30 seconds too long. If we get lucky though with our DPS, we might have a fighting chance with it, so we'll see how the next one goes. Okay, so let's see. A quick search showed that Vengeance spell reflects 75% of the damage from their next incoming hit back at them. That is cool. Rainbow, thank you for looking that up. Does it say what spell book Vengeance aligns to? It should say something that's either the Ancient spellbook or the Arceus spellbook. Whatever that is, we might need to change our spellbook to accommodate. Alright, here we go. We're getting lined up for another kill. I ran, it was a little bit premature. I went to run up to attack and unfortunately ran into a poison cloud. You'll have this, I guess, from time to time. Oh, the Lunar spellbook. Oh, that's a surprise. I wouldn't have expected that. I'd have rarely ever used Lunar. I think the last time I used it was maybe when I was trying to mass level rune crafting. I used to use the Lunar spell to call to like NPCs and stuff. Forget why. I think it was to like repair my rune pouch or something like that. So that's interesting. But thank you for looking that up. When we go back, I can switch my prayer book to, or I'm sorry, my magic book to that. And then we'll see if we can pull off that vengeance thing. Boom. More money in our pocket, guys. I am liking this today. Just gonna refill our prayer and our health as we're walking along here. We'll keep the kills coming. Boom. Ooh, this is a good one. We're starting off strong here, guys. Let's see if we can take her down quick. Look at her health just dropping there. Ah, bummer. The melee version is the hardest one to hit against, though, so we started off real strong, but this is going to hurt us a little. Man, we were doing some damage to her in the beginning. It was really looking like we might get the speedrunner kill based on that. But then when that melee form popped, it kind of like crushed my dreams there. So I don't think we'll get it this time, but at least we've seen how dangerous we can be out here, you know? And you'll see the melee form is going to come back out again in just a sec here, so we'll work through it. We just won't have the record time we were hoping for. Look at that. That was our personal best time. 1 minute and 22 seconds. That's pretty sick. We were hoping for, I think, 1 minute and 10. Let me check the combat achievement again, but that was a pretty good kill speed there. Oh, 1 minute and 20 seconds. We missed that by 2 seconds, guys. That's wild. If it wasn't for her popping in melee form, we would have had it. That's crazy. That's alright, though. We'll keep trying. We'll keep pushing for it, right? Let's go back in. We'll do it again. Wow, I can't believe we missed that by 2 seconds. You can see this time we're not getting that love. We barely touched her so far after like 7 or 8 shots at her, so I don't think we'll be getting the achievement this time either, but man, that's cool to see that we got our personal best though. Especially because I think really I should be rolling with an actual crystal helm here. I didn't have one in my inventory, so I threw the Missouri mask on, but I think we're losing a little bit of strength or accuracy because of that, since we've got crystal gear in other regards. I'd need to double check that, but I think it's generally expected that if you're going to have the crystal armor for your chest and your leg pieces, that you would roll with the helm as well. Yeah, this is far from our best kill speed there, but it's okay. It's still low sweat, low stress, so it's still a good fight for sure. We're just not going to see any like personal records being broken this time, you know? Man, that's crazy to think that people could beat this thing in like under a minute. Like, I feel like, obviously, out of 600 and some kills, the best we've been able to do so far is 1 minute 22. Now, I guess a lot of other people might roll with a twisted bow or something like that, so obviously that's going to be helpful anywhere. But it's just crazy to think that you can go to, like, an end-game boss fight and beat the thing in under a minute. It, like, blows my mind a little bit. Alright, let's try to pull off one more kill here. Maybe 2, depending on how we do. And then we'll go back to the bank and we'll switch our magic book to try to get our hands on that vengeance spell. D-Dog, what's up, man? We are fighting the water snake. Zulrah is one of the better money makers in the game. It's one of like the more of the end tier boss content that a lot of people can't wait to get their hands on. There's a plugin that helps me predict her rotations. You know, based on however the fight starts, she's bound to spawn in certain areas. And generally the drops from her are pretty good, so we should make a pretty penny while we're here today. Reminder guys that when this thing pops in melee form and I'm standing next to one of these pillars, it can't actually reach us with its melee attack, which is kind of nice for us. So at least for those few seconds there where she's trying to strike us with her tail, there's no reason for you to pray anything against her, because she's not going to hit you anyway. So anyway, if you're looking to conserve a little bit of money or some prayer or whatever, that might be a good strategy for you, is just to shut off your protection prayer. This form here, when she reaches the end of her rotation, you can see she's alternating between magic and range attacks. So I also have to keep up with that. You know, every time she's getting ready to shoot a different attack, I've got to switch my protection prayer, or else I'd be getting slammed for damage like 50% of the time. That's a good question, Rainbow. I don't know that it would drastically reduce kill time if we had the Crystal Helm, but it would make our DPS, our damage per second, a little bit higher. So my assumption is that it would at least slightly reduce the kill time. So I don't know, like in most cases it might not even be noticeable. Like unless we were specifically tracking the kill time, you might not even really realize how much it was helping. But it might be just enough for us to shave 2 seconds off. Or, yeah, I guess it was 2 seconds in order to complete that achievement. That's a good question. It doesn't actually take very long. You want to do it, don't you? Alright, let's do it. We're going to make a helm. We're taking a detour. We're dropping 6 mil just because Rainbow told us to. Let's do this. I think I need some sort of a hammer. Let me look it up. I'm just looking at the wiki page over here. So we need money. And we're at Zulrah, so we'll end up making our money back today. But let's pull out 6 mil. And then we need to buy a crystal armor seed. This guy right here. So let's just say 5.7 mil is what we're going to spend. Boom, we have a seed. So now we also need, it looks like 50 crystal shards, which we have in the bank. Boom, shards. Now I think we need a hammer of some sort. I'm pretty sure that's all we need. So, now that we've done that, I think we can take our teleport tree, our travel tree here, and go to Prifidinus. So we're going to go to one of the singing bowls that's somewhere in this area. This makes sense in my mind. It's probably a little bit tough to follow if you've not actually been here yourself. But there's these things called singing bowls within this area. So we're essentially going to use that as our crafting location. We're going to put our armor seed in there as well as the crystal shards. And I think we can just go ahead and craft this helmet. right over here is the, it says sing, crystal, blah, blah, blah. And look, it says, how many would you like to make? Well, one should be sufficient. So let's proceed with that. And just like that, we've made a crystal helm. So now we'll put on that bad boy. Ta-da! So now we'll go back to Varrock, where the Grand Exchange is. We are looking good. That's the best 6 mil we've ever spent. Except for the 20 mil that you had to spend on the Abyssal Bludgeon a few days ago. But but these are all upgrades, and we needed to do them at some point anyway, so I'm kind of glad that you asked there. So now this will be something that we keep in our inventory for the rest of time. And we're going to see a lot of benefits come from having it, so that's like really cool. So, before we try for the combat achievement that requires the vengeance spell now, why don't we go back to Zulrah? We'll see if we can beat the combat achievement first. We'll at least give it a good try, and then whether it works or it doesn't, then we're going to switch our magic book, and we'll see if we can get that vengeance thing taken care of, okay? Big things today. Thanks for the call out, Rainbow. I mean, this is super cool because honestly, it was a mismatch of gear, and that's just, it doesn't make sense to be rolling with that in the first place. So I'm really glad you called that out so we can get a proper setup here. All right, 1:20. That's what we're going for. Let's see if we can knock her down. Boom, boom. Big hit right off the bat there. We'll bring out our Skrull to help us out with some damage. She is going to go into her melee form next, so that's going to complicate things just a tad. As I mentioned earlier, she's hardest to hit in her melee form, so that might work against our kill time. But all we can do is try, right? So either way, we're going to get a kill and we're going to start to rebuild our bank again, so it's all good. Alright, we're running to the other side now. She smacked me with I think it was a range attack that got me. Unless that was the little snakeling that clipped me, but something got me good. I sure hope this 6 mil was worth it, Rainbow. I think it was, though. Alright, she's just about dead. Then we'll take a look at what that kill was. I mean, there's so much, honestly, luck that goes into it. Like, we never know. Even with the best gear in the world, you could walk in here and smack like 6 zeros in a row, and that's just how the game works, so we'll need more than one kill attempt in order to see how we're actually performing here. Alright, so it looks like that kill was over 2 minutes. So that was a little bit worse, obviously, than our 1:22, but it's all good. We're going to try it again, and we're going to try it again. We're going to try it again. And then we'll see how we average out, okay? Let's go back in. There's melee form again. I'm trying to remember which rotation is really ideal, because you guys know there's like the magma rotation, there's like the serpentine rotation, and then I think there's two different range ones that she could pull out. Might be a little bit off with some of that, but I think if she starts off with magic, that might be like a preferred one in order for us to be able to take her down the quickest. Right after this, she's going to pop out in melee form again, so again, having two of those in a lineup isn't really ideal. But let's just see how we do. Oh, 3 is okay. Good deal. Now we're dropping her. Whoa. And poisoning ourselves. I should have stood off a little bit further north there, or towards the bottom of the screen. Alright, she's done. She came back just to smack me one final time before she threw in the towel. So that was 1:49. That one, that was like, what, 20 seconds better than the time before it. We'll try the next one. Alright, here we go. This might be the one. We are doing some damage to her here. Come on, combat achievement. We're knocking her pretty good. I don't know it's going to be our best, but it's definitely going to be an impressive time, I would say. Oh, till I walk into the poison again for no reason. That's not quite as impressive. Ooh, that was good. We smacked her at the end there. That's got it. Ooh, we did it! There you go, Rainbow. Wow. That's super cool. So Rainbow, there you go. 6 mil, worth it. I would have spent 60 mil in order to get that. That's awesome. What a cool thing for the stream. I didn't even think it was in the cards for us to get that today, to be completely honest. And we just got like 150k drop and then a new personal best of 1:04. Wow, that's really cool. Now we got to look at what other speedrunner tasks there are now that we did that one. It looks like there's one here where we need to kill her in under a minute. I wonder if we've got a chance at that now. After I was going off before talking about other people being able to complete this in under a minute, all of a sudden we're in that tier, you know? I'm that guy. Oh man, that's really cool. Let's try another one. Geez, I'm gonna be addicted to this now. I'll be here for like the rest of my life, just killing Zulrah over and over again. Alright. Let's roll in there. Line up some more combat achievements. How quick can we get is the question. Die, Zulrah, die. Wow, that's really cool. You keep challenging us, Rainbow. We're doing our best to keep up. I somehow messed up my plugin on the side. I'm on the wrong rotation here now. So I honestly am just going to wing it because I don't know exactly what the rotation thing is. So we're not going to get a perfect kill here. We're not going to beat our record because I'm honestly just going to guess as to where I'm supposed to run across the map. But based on our experience, hopefully we could pull off a kill without being too damaged, you know? Luckily, she's almost done, so we've got a good shot at this. Boom. Dead. Even with that one being a little bit ugly, that was still a minute 50, so that's kind of cool. I would say the helm is working. Let's do this, though. Let's go back. We had the other combat achievement we wanted to line up for today. Let's at least do one run where we try to get that vengeance kill. And then whether we do or don't, we've gotten quite a few kills here at Zulrah, so we'll probably wrap up the stream after that. But let's see how we make out. So in order to do this now, because of my 99 magic cape, I'll plug another skill that I've maxed out. We can actually pull that out of the bank and use that to change the spell book that we're currently on. So we're going to set that to Lunar. Based on Rainbow's research, that's the one we need in order to do this vengeance spell. And it looks like... Where's it at here? I see Barbarian Teleport. Just gonna look this up. Oh, it's a level 94 spell. That's why I couldn't see it. So it looks like we need Astral Runes, Death Runes, and Earth Runes. Fair enough. So we will pull out Astral Runes, Death Runes, and Earth Runes. I did that wrong. Sorry, guys. Doing this on the fly here, trying to figure out the approach. I jumbled my inventory a little bit. Let's empty this. Boom. Okay. So we've got the runes. Alright, I made that way more complicated than it needed to be, but we have the runes now. So now we're just going to get a range pot, we're going to get an anti-venom. Let's pull out like 2 more prayer potions. And now I probably want to have an actual magic setup for when I attempt this. So what I'm going to do is pull out some of my magic gear. We'll take... Oops, not that. All of this stuff. Where's my Virtus mask? There it is. So this is the magic setup that once we get close to finishing the fight, we're going to switch into that gear, and then we're going to cast our vengeance spell, and we'll see if we have any luck. So, here we go. What I'm also going to try to do is, even if we have to cast Vengeance a few times, like I might just sit there and tank some hits from Zulrah, so that way we have a few shots at casting the spell. Because really all we care about is completing the combat achievement. It doesn't need to be the prettiest thing in the world, so let's see if we can make it happen. So it looks like this red one is the one we want to use. There's 2 different versions of the Vengeance spell. It looks like if you use the white one, you can actually allow another RuneScape player to reflect damage back to a monster, whereas the red one allows your actual character to do that. So that's what we want for today. Alright, here we go. We'll kill her most of the way with our range setup, and then once we get to the end, we're going to use Vengeance. And hopefully we get lucky here. Suppose my biggest concern is that I could end up doing too much damage with the bow and accidentally killing her that way, at which point we would have to just try again. So anyway, we'll try to exercise caution once we get near the end of the fight. I guess I would need to have my health as high as possible too, because it seems like I need to absorb some damage in order to reflect some of that back to her. That feels like a little bit risky. So we'll just try to keep our health like super high, so even if she hits us for like a 45 or something, it's not really gonna matter. I feel like we have a plan here, but I also feel like there's a lot of like hopeful thinking baked into that plan. Where if the cards don't fall the right way, there's only going to be so much that any of us can do to influence what happens, you know? She's got 200 health left. So now she's down to 150. We're just going to keep tracking that closely. Now she's down to 120. 61. Let's hit her one more time. Oh, this is perfect, guys. Look, her health is down to 3. We've got a real good shot at vengeance here. Let me turn off my prayer. Taste vengeance, Zulrah. Don't tell me. I think what happened there is one of the snakelings hit me and we used vengeance against the snakeling instead of Zulrah. So we got kind of just screwed. Now that spell is on cooldown, so, and I don't know how long that is, so let's see. Okay, we're back now. So let's let her melee us, and then we're going to do damage back to her, because she's the only one out right now. Taste vengeance. Yes! That actually worked out perfectly for us, the fact that she went into melee form. And also none of the snakelings were out, so as soon as she smacked us with her tail, we were able to get the kill. And use vengeance to knock out her last 3 hit points, so we are just on fire today, guys. Alright. Hey, Tick Warden, what's up, man? Pretty sick. We've got one of our followers here, Rainbow. She was challenging us in a few ways. We went out and bought a crystal helm, and we just got a record kill time at Zulrah. So we completed one of the speedrunner tasks there. And then just now, we actually had another combat achievement where we needed to kill Zulrah using the Vengeance spell, and we were able to pull that one off. So. Hopefully you caught the last few seconds there, but luckily it's been a cool day for us with some achievement pops, you know? Let's see, I think we'll teleport out. We still have a few fish here, so we might as well finish off our inventory, and then we'll probably wrap up the stream after that. Yeah, for sure, for sure. I never really put too much time or like focus specifically on the combat achievements until I started to stream a few weeks ago. And now it's given us something different to kind of focus our attention on while we're waiting for the pet drops and all that stuff, you know? What have you been up to lately, though? You got any good boss fights or any raids or anything going on? Ah, Temperos, okay. Good deal. Oh, and CG, okay. There's a special place in my heart for CG. I feel like I've been chasing the Hunlift pet. I mean, it's literally been a few years, but I think I'm up to like 500 and some kill count. So it's not like crazy how many kills I have, but I'm really hoping I get it before the 800 mark, you know? But again, I'm just after streaming for the past few weeks. It's forced me to get a little bit more outside of my comfort zone. So I've just been trying to rotate across some of the different bosses. So there's been some CG baked into that for sure. But I'm just doing other stuff like the Desert Treasure bosses and all that. And it's helped keep things interesting. Run over here before the poison gets us. This could be it, guys. Send the good vibes over. It could be pet drop time right here. Anything is possible. Yeah, I hear that. It's hard too, especially because some of this stuff, and you know, probably Corrupted Gauntlet is one of the best examples, but it takes quite a while to really get comfortable with the mechanics, and it's like, you hate to just walk away from it after you've put in the time to learn all that. And sorry guys, I messed up the rotation a bit because I wasn't really watching what was coming next, but yeah, it's really hard, like once you actually master something, you don't want to just leave it immediately, because it's like you work so hard to get comfortable, so I could see your point there. Alright. Here we are. Let's finish off this kill. Man, that's so cool. I'm still on top of the world that we just knocked out 2 different combat achievements. I did not really expect that for today, so pretty good stuff there. I think, I'm gonna fill up one more time. I just want to knock out a couple more kills before we wrap up the stream, so let me run back to the bank real quick. Trying to see, my kill count's at 641. It would have been cool to end on 650, but I think we'll land closer to 645. But hopefully we get a pet drop baked into that. I'll throw all this magic gear back in the bank. We won't be using that for now. Alright, we're almost there. Our trusty fairy ring will show us the way. Alright. Yeah, so what I've been doing, Tick, is typically first thing I do when I wake up is I try to get a stream in. You know, get the blood pumping a little bit, enjoy my coffee and all that, and hopefully get some good drops to kick off the day. Lately what I've been doing is taking a little break for about like half an hour, and then I'll start up a second stream. I'm in the Eastern time zone, and so far it seems like there's been a bit more attendance and stuff a little bit later in the morning. So normally like a mid-morning stream, I try to target. And then as I'm doing life stuff throughout the day, I'll either do like AFK-able things on like mobile, or sometimes I might like use my other monitor, like if I'm playing a game with friends or something, I might multitask there and knock out something that doesn't require all of my attention. So that way I can still chip away at other things, like whether it's like a skilling goal, like sailing yesterday, I was able to get that to level 50, and I'll probably do that a little bit more later today. But normally there's like 2 streams which are more focused on boss fights, and then I'll do some other stuff like off stream, whatever it is that I wanted to personally achieve, I'll just try to prioritize that, you know? Alright, here comes melee form. Whoop. I was supposed to go run right here. Didn't move quick enough. How about you though, Tick? What's your schedule like? Are you typically more of like a morning, like early morning bird, or late evenings, or what are you up to? I clicked too early. Yeah, I hear that, man. I've actually had a bit of time off from work this week, so I've been able to do my own thing with it. Normally Monday through Friday, though, I'm kind of like tethered to my office computer and all that, so it's been a bit more freeing lately now that I've had more free time to do what I want. But once I'm back in the work grind, it's probably going to be like maybe an early morning stream before I get ready. And then I do one in the evenings, you know, whatever it is that I'll want to tackle there. That work stuff, it always seems to get in the way, you know, it drives me crazy. Once we hit it big on Twitch, though, maybe we won't need all that anymore, you know? So that's the dream, right? I'm actually, a 12 to 2. Oh no, I was looking at the Twitch chats and I got myself killed. Man, that hasn't happened in the longest time, guys. That's crazy. Oh man, that's kind of embarrassing actually. But let me just we'll get back there real quick. We'll pick our stuff up and we'll do one more kill before I wrap up. That's real funny. I haven't died there. It must be over a year since I've died at Zulrah, especially because of the plugin and all that. So, like, that's real funny. We've got a bunch of folks in the stream here, and I just biff it there. But, that's what work does to me. As soon as I start thinking about work, I lose my focus, you know? That's alright. We've been making a boatload of money the past few days fighting Zulrah and doing a bunch of other bosses, so I'm not losing sleep over it. I think it's only like 60k or something in order to get our stuff back here, so it's all good. Let's see, this person here, the priestess, I think she's just gonna give us our stuff back. It's 100k. Sometimes that's half a trip for us, right? So it could be worse. What I was gonna say though, part of why I was distracted, Tick, is because we actually achieved one of our initial goals yesterday, where we breached 50 followers. So, you know, I've been streaming for about a month now, and I've really had my sights on 50 because it felt like a solid number where it's like you're really building that foundation and all that. So I can't say thank you enough, you know, to yourself, to Rainbow. We've got D-Dog here, but we're building a very solid community here across the different Twitch channels and all that. So I just want to say thanks for all the support there, and we're going to keep doing our thing here because it's been a fun ride so far, and it's only going to keep getting better, you know? And if anybody out there is not yet following my channel, if you wouldn't mind following my channel, that would be much appreciated. Our next target is 75, so we'll keep marching towards that. I don't know if the Zulrah deaths here are going to help or hurt that cause, but either way, I'm going to shoot for it, you know? Yeah, thanks so much, man. I appreciate that. I wasn't even really watching my screen when I got that death a minute ago. Did you guys notice, was it actually Zulrah that took me out, or was it one of those snakelings? Because they've been like driving me crazy here with how much damage they're hitting me for. Even with my Ring of Suffering on with the recoil effect, it's like when they get that initial slap in, it can do some damage, you know? So I don't know, I might have to play back the video to see what exactly took me out, you know? Hopefully Jagex tries to restore the balance, though. We got a little bit of bad baked into that. Maybe the pet drop is coming, so we can say that we've broken even here, you know? Wishful thinking, but we'll see. Boom. Alright, there we go. We're building our momentum back, guys. Don't worry. We got some grapes, we got some toad flax. Life is good. Alright. Let's eat some fish on our walk back in. I kinda miss our scroll here now. We had switched up our spell book and all that, so now we don't have our scroll anymore. It's kind of cool. He was keeping me company here. But at least I've got all you guys here, so it's a trade-off, I guess, you know? But if we could have our scroll and all of you guys, it couldn't be any more perfect, you know? Keep forgetting to move my character. I'm obviously making a lot of dumb mistakes now. I think I'm more focused on trying to chat and just hang out with you guys than I am actually get the kills in, so just don't critique me too hard after this. It's just me having a good time here, you know? Alright, let's run over to the other side. That's the cool thing too, though. It's like once you get to a certain level here with our gear set up and just understanding the mechanics and all that, you get a pretty good feel for like what types of risks you can absorb here. So even if you end up taking some extra hits, it's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world, right? I'm actually a little bit surprised though, because we were looking earlier at the different collections items that could drop here. So we talk a lot about the pets, but we also know there were like 4 other drops that we haven't seen yet. I'm a little bit surprised that they haven't popped. You know, after getting like 600 kills or so, I would have thought that we'd at least see like one of those. You know, like the mutagens or the onyx or just something, you know? I guess we'll see. All we can do is keep getting the kills, but just a little bit surprised. Boom. There's another one. For sure, for sure. We got a spirit seed. I think I have all the spirit trees that I'm allowed to have right now, so I'll just throw that in the bank, but for new beginners there that are trying to get a different few different tree locations for easier teleport access. That's kind of cool when you see something like that drop. I think we don't have much food here. We're going to pretty much have one fish in our arsenal, one angler fish, which I'm going to use as smartly as I can. But let's see if we can pull off a win anyway. I might have to teleport out here if it's not going so hot, you know, so just bear with me if that's the case. But since we're already here at the shrine anyway, we might as well try to sneak one more in. We're doing some good damage on the front end here. We might actually have a shot at this, unless I do something silly again. We're gonna start making our way to the other side for the next spawn. There we go. Alright, she's about halfway done. It's all going to depend on if she does any random attacks, like if she switches from mage to range or something like that on us. We talked earlier about how some of that damage is unavoidable. But so far, we're looking pretty good. As she hits me with 2 range attacks in a row. 3. You gotta be kidding me. Did I jinx us or what? So we've got no fish and our health is down to 39. That's not really ideal. Excuse me, but we'll see if we can pull it off. We gotta hope she just doesn't hit us here. Wow, we did it, guys, with close to no food. I will gladly accept these winnings. We regained at least a little bit of credibility there after that death, right? Alright. Well, folks, I had a lot of fun today. Again, you know, having 51 followers as we speak, it's super cool. I'm looking forward to the community growing even more, and I just really want to stress how much I appreciate you guys being here for the ride and showing your support. We completed 2 combat achievements today. We got a bunch of loot, and we got more fights on the horizon. So we'll wrap up the stream for now, but good luck with your endeavors, and I hope to catch you next time. Later, guys.